Welcome to Cheater Confessions. Let's get started with today's story. My wife and I were supposed to go to my cousin's birthday dinner that night. Nothing big, just a backyard thing with food and drinks, the kind of gathering she used to say family always came first for. We'd planned it weeks ago. Tamara even called twice to make sure we'd be there. I got home from work, took a quick shower, and put on the shirt she said she liked, the navy one. Evelyn was already dressed, but not for a birthday party. Tight black dress, red heels, full face of makeup like she was headed to a photo shoot. I walked into the bedroom and paused in the doorway. "That's what you're wearing to Tamara's?" She glanced at me in the mirror like I just said something stupid. "We're not going to Tamara's." I frowned. "What are you talking about?" "We're going to Luxe. Lila got a table." She sprayed perfume on her neck like the conversation was already over. "Wait, what? You said—" She cut me off. "Plans changed. This'll be more fun anyway." "Evelyn, it's my cousin's birthday." "So? You told her we'd be there." "She'll get over it," she said flatly. "You should change. We need to leave in 20. It wasn't a suggestion. It was an order, like I was her accessory for the night, not her husband. I stayed where I was. "You really think blowing off family so you can hit some overpriced club is normal?" She turned toward me, annoyed. "God, John, not everything needs to be a discussion. Why do you always have to act like I need your permission to live?" "I'm not asking for permission," I said. "I'm asking for basic respect. You don't consult, you don't ask. You just make decisions and expect me to nod and follow." She gave a small laugh. "Wow, you're really feeling yourself today." I didn't say anything. Then she said it. Casual, like it wasn't cruel. "What, you think you're my only option?" The room went quiet. She grabbed her purse, checked her phone. "You act like I owe you everything. You're not the center of my world, John." Then she walked out. I stood in the hallway, still dressed for a dinner that no longer existed. We'd been married 4 years. I paid for most of it. Rent, car, groceries, the vacation she posted about, like she paid for it. She worked part-time and spent full-time. I'd ignored a lot. But that night, I stopped. If I weren't her only option, maybe it was time to stop acting like she was mine. The night Evelyn went to the club instead of Tamara's dinner, I didn't text her, didn't ask when she'd be home. I just sat on the couch and let the silence stretch. She came in around 2 a.m., heels in hand, makeup smudged, not a word of apology. She dropped her bag on the counter, checked her phone, and went straight to bed. I watched her disappear down the hall like I wasn't even there. The next morning, she acted like nothing had happened. She made herself a smoothie, started scrolling Instagram like we hadn't argued at all. That was when I decided to stop guessing and start watching. It wasn't hard. Evelyn wasn't discreet. She'd leave her laptop open, phone unlocked, notifications were lighting up while she showered. I didn't have to dig. The truth just sat there, waiting to be seen. A message from someone named David. "Last night was fire. You always look good, but that dress?" Her reply? "Haha, stop. You're bad." Followed by a heart emoji. Another from someone saved as Ty-Fitness. "Wish I were the one picking you up tonight." Her response, "You still could be." It wasn't just flirting. It was an invitation. Open doors. I didn't confront her, not yet. I needed to be sure what I was walking away from, so I started saving screenshots, quietly forwarding messages to a private folder. If she wanted to play games, I wasn't going to fumble the ending. And somewhere in the middle of it, the truth settled in, slow but sharp. She was betting I'd stay, keep paying, keep trying, keep forgiving. I was the fallback guy in my own marriage, and she was comfortable with that. She didn't respect me. She relied on me. There's a difference. By the end of the week, I had a plan. I didn't call her out. I just started removing the scaffolding holding her life together. The first thing I did was pull her name off the credit card, the same card she used for Uber rides, nail appointments, and late-night sushi orders. She didn't even notice. Not until it got declined during a trip to the salon. Next, I logged into our accounts and turned off the autopay for the subscription, her gym. Nothing drastic, just quiet exits. She wanted independence, I gave it to her. Then, I stopped driving her places. One night, she walked into the room, heels in hand, and said, "Can you take me to Chelsea's?" I didn't look up from my laptop. "I'm busy." She blinked. "It'll take 10 minutes. Then it won't be hard to call a ride." Her jaw tightened. You're seriously not going to take me? Nope. She stood there like she was waiting for me to change my mind. I didn't. Unbelievable, she muttered, grabbing her phone and walking out. That weekend, I booked a storage unit, a small one, just enough to start quietly moving things out. I also stopped doing the small things, laundry, cooking, fixing stuff around the apartment. She'd gotten used to things running smoothly, used to comfort without maintenance. Now things stayed broken, dishes stayed dirty. She asked once, "Are you okay?" "Fine," I said. But I wasn't fine. I was focused. The final step was the phone line. Evelyn had been on my plan for 3 years. One click, and she was off. I didn't even tell her. She found out when her calls started dropping mid-conversation. I watched her pace around the apartment, confused. "John, something's wrong with my phone. Can you check the account?" I shrugged. "Must be a signal issue." She didn't know it yet, but the ground beneath her was already shifting. I wasn't reacting anymore. I was preparing. It happened on a Wednesday night. I'd come home late from work and grabbed takeout on the way. Evelyn was curled up on the couch, scrolling through her phone with a glass of wine in hand. She didn't even glance at me when I walked in. I set the food down. "Did you eat?" "Nope, not hungry." She said it like I was supposed to care more than she did. I didn't sit. I just stood there, watching her thumb through her notifications, smiling at whatever was lighting up the screen. Then I said it. "Are you sleeping with someone else?" She looked up, blinked slowly. "What?" "You heard me." She smirked. "That's cute." "Don't dodge it," I said. "Just be straight with me." She gave a half laugh. "John, not every guy who messages me wants to sleep with me. And even if they did, what? Now I need your permission to have friends?" I pulled a folded piece of paper from my jacket and laid it on the table. Screenshots, names, times, flirting that crossed every line she pretended didn't exist. She froze. Her voice dropped a note. "Why are you digging through my messages?" "Because I stopped trusting the woman who says she loves me and then answers DMs like she's single." "You're insane," she snapped, standing up. "You're actually going through my phone behind my back?" "No," I said. "I went through the phone that I paid for. Big difference." She looked like she wanted to throw something. "I'm done," I said. "You made your choices. I'm just responding to them." She laughed again, but it wasn't strong this time. It was desperate. "You're overreacting. This is just attention. It's not real." "No. What's not real is this marriage," I said. "You checked out a long time ago. I'm just late catching up." She stepped forward. "So that's it? You're just walking away?" I looked her in the eye. "You made me optional, so now you're optional to me." And then I left. I had a bag packed already, my keys in my pocket. Everything I needed was already gone. She just hadn't noticed. By Saturday, I was out completely. I'd moved into a spare room at my friend Daniel's place. Simple setup, bed, desk, peace. The kind of silence that didn't feel like punishment. I hadn't blocked Evelyn yet. I wanted her to see what silence felt like from the other side. That weekend, the texts started. "You're being ridiculous. You really just walked out over nothing? Can you at least come back and talk like an adult?" Then came the calls. Missed, repeated, late at night. On Monday, she showed up at my office. Reception buzzed me. "There's an Evelyn here to see you. Tell her I'm in a meeting. She says it's urgent. Please ask her to leave." I watched from the second floor as she argued with the receptionist. Then, security escorted her out. She looked up, trying to spot me. I didn't flinch. That evening, she went public. Instagram stories with sad music. A black and white selfie with puffy eyes. Captions like, "When someone you love turns out to be a stranger. Real love doesn't walk away." She wanted sympathy. Then the messages started hitting my inbox. Mutual friends, her coworkers, even her sister. "What happened?" "She says you left without warning." "Man, I thought you two were solid." I answered once, just once. I posted a single story. I stopped funding a fantasy. She stopped pretending to care. That's the story. No names, no drama, but everyone knew. The tone shifted fast. By Tuesday, friends were going quiet on her. Her sister DM'd me. She said you were cold, but honestly, I've seen the way she treats you. I didn't say anything. I should have. I didn't reply. That was the point. I didn't need to explain anymore. I just needed to let the truth speak in the space she never thought I'd leave behind. The silence didn't break her. It unhinged her. By the second week, she was spinning. First came the guilt plays. A message at 1:13 a.m. "I'm scared. I can't afford rent without you." Another one the next day. "You know I'm not good with money. You just abandoned me." Then a voice note, half crying. "You're punishing me over messages. That's not abuse, John. That's just distraction. It wasn't real." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. Then came the twist. One morning, my phone lit up with a message from a random number. "John, I'm pregnant. We need to talk. Evelyn." I stared at the screen. We hadn't slept together in almost 2 months. Interesting. Given we haven't touched each other in weeks, that baby's gonna need a DNA test and a miracle. "You think I'd lie about something like this?" she replied. "Yes, I think that's exactly what you'd do." 2 hours later, a new message. "Forget it. I don't need this from you." She dropped it. Just like that. Next came the rage. She started calling my mother, my sister, even Daniel. Told them I was emotionally abusive, that I'd ghosted her, that I was hiding something. The final straw came the following weekend. Daniel woke me up around 7 a.m. "John, she's outside. Been sitting in her car for almost an hour." I looked out the window. Sure enough, there she was, slumped behind the wheel, sunglasses on, like she was waiting to ambush me. Daniel called the police. We showed them the texts, the fake pregnancy message, and the office incident. They gave her a formal warning. She drove off, but not before she keyed the side of my car. The camera caught everything. She was charged with vandalism. That was the moment I knew. This wasn't heartbreak. It was ego. And now, her ego had a court date. The divorce was finalized quietly. No courtroom drama. Just a signature, a stamp, and 10 minutes later, I was legally free. The vandalism charge stuck. Nothing major. Misdemeanor, small fine. But it left a mark, and not just on my car. Word got out fast. Her little curated image shattered. The same people she once bragged to about our perfect life now watched her spiral from the sidelines. Meanwhile, my life was quiet. And for the first time in years, peaceful. I focused on work. Took a few weekend trips with Daniel. Got back into the gym. Lost some weight I didn't even know I was carrying, emotionally and physically. Then I met Claire. Nothing serious at first. She worked at a cafe I'd started frequenting. Smart, calm, easy to talk to. She asked one day, "You always sit near the window and look like you're solving crimes. What do you do?" I laughed. "Recovering." She smiled. "Well, whatever it is, looks like you're doing okay." Claire knew about Evelyn. I didn't hide it. And she didn't flinch when I told her everything. The cheating, the lies, the meltdown. Her response? "She sounds like someone who never expected the bridge to burn behind her." Exactly. 2 months after the split, Evelyn reached out again. A long email this time. She'd been evicted. Her credit card got shut down. The gym she once bragged about? Already canceled. By me, weeks ago. She was living with a friend she didn't really like and bouncing between retail gigs. The message ended with, "I miss who we were. Can we just talk? No pressure. Just closure." I didn't reply. I didn't need closure from someone who had open doors while burning the only bridge that mattered. Instead, I forwarded the email to myself and archived it. A reminder. The woman who once laughed and said, "You think you're my only option?" She was now out of options. And I had all the peace she never gave me. I ran into her by accident. It was a Saturday afternoon, grocery store parking lot. I just grabbed a few things for the week, nothing special. I was loading bags into the back seat when I heard her voice behind me. "John?" I turned. There she was. Evelyn. Hair tied back, no makeup, hoodie, leggings, beat-up sneakers. She looked tired, not physically exactly, just worn out in a way I couldn't quite name. I gave her a small nod. "Evelyn." She walked closer, not too close. "You look good," she said, trying to smile. "Thanks." Awkward silence. She looked down, then back at me. "Are you doing okay?" "I am," I said. "Really good, actually." She hesitated, then asked, "Have you ever thought about all of it? Us?" I closed the trunk, wiped my hands on my jeans. "Yeah, sometimes." Her eyes lit up just a little. I added, mostly to remind myself what I survived. The light went out. She nodded slowly. Right. I almost left it there. But then she said, softer this time, I didn't think you'd actually leave. I know, I said. That was the problem. She didn't argue, just stood there, quiet, still. After a few seconds, she said, You hated me, didn't you? No, I said. I hated who you became when you stopped caring. Another pause. Well, I hope you're happy. I looked at her for a beat. I am, I said. Truly. She nodded, backed away. Take care, John. You too. I got in my car, watched her in the rearview as she walked off toward a beat-up sedan with a cracked taillight. No anger, no rush of emotion, just peace. The kind you only get after a war you didn't start, but refused to keep fighting. She laughed once and said, What, you think you're my only option? And I proved her right, by choosing myself. Thank you for watching.